She had everything a child could dream of: silk sheets, a room bigger than most homes, toys from every country, and a father who would buy the world if it could make her smile. Yet, every morning, little Eliza woke up weaker than the day before. Her skin was pale, her eyes had lost their sparkle. She barely ate, she barely spoke. The best doctors in the city visited the mansion one after another. Tests were done, medicines were changed, specialists were flown in, but every report said the same thing: nothing was wrong. Nothing, yet she was slowly fading away. Her father, Mr. Harrington, a millionaire known for solving impossible problems in business, found himself helpless in front of his daughter's silent suffering. He watched machines, charts, and medical reports, hoping for an answer that never came. Night after night, he sat beside her bed, holding her tiny hand, whispering, "You'll be fine, sweetheart." But even he no longer believed his own words. The only person who spent more time with Eliza than anyone else was the nanny, Maria. Maria wasn't educated in medicine. She didn't understand reports or prescriptions. But she understood children. She understood their silence, their fears, and the way they communicated without words. She noticed something strange. Every night, just before sleeping, Eliza would glance toward the floor beside her bed. Not once, not twice, every single night, and every morning, she woke up sicker. At first, Maria ignored it. Maybe it was nothing, maybe it was just a child's habit. But days passed, and the pattern didn't change. One evening, after tucking Eliza into bed, Maria asked softly, "Is something bothering you, sweetheart?" Eliza didn't speak. She just looked toward the side of the bed again. Her eyes were filled with a fear too deep for a child. Maria felt a chill run through her body. That night, after Eliza finally fell asleep, Maria stayed in the room. The lights were dim, the air was silent. She slowly knelt down and looked under the bed. At first, she saw nothing but darkness. Then her eyes adjusted, and her heart nearly stopped. There, hidden beneath the bed, was a small, old, metal box. It didn't belong in a child's room. It was dusty, almost forgotten. Maria pulled it out carefully. The lid was slightly open. Inside, she found something that made her hands tremble. Rotten food, moldy bread, spoiled fruit, leftovers wrapped in napkins, all decaying. The smell was unbearable. Maria realized what had been happening. Every night, when Eliza couldn't finish her food, she hid it under the bed. She was afraid of being scolded for not eating. Afraid of disappointing her father and the staff. So she secretly pushed the food into that box. Day after day, week after week, the decaying food had filled the air with invisible toxins. The smell was slow, constant, and poisonous in such a closed space. Eliza had been breathing it every night while she slept. She wasn't sick because of a disease. She was sick because she was scared. Maria's eyes filled with tears. She rushed out of the room and called Mr. Harrington. He arrived within seconds, worried. When Maria showed him the box, he covered his mouth in shock. The powerful man who never broke down in front of anyone suddenly sat on the floor, staring at the rotten food like it was his greatest failure. "My little girl," he whispered. "She was afraid of me." The next morning, the room was cleaned completely. Fresh air filled the space. The bed was moved, everything was sanitized. But the real change happened when Mr. Harrington sat beside Eliza and said something he had never said before. "You never have to be afraid of me. Not for anything, not even for not finishing your food." Eliza looked at him for a long time. Then, for the first time in weeks, she smiled. Within days, her health began to improve. Her color returned. Her appetite slowly came back. She laughed again. The doctors were confused by her sudden recovery, calling it a miracle. But Maria and her father knew the truth. It wasn't medicine that saved her. It was understanding. Weeks later, Eliza was running in the garden, her laughter echoing through the mansion. Mr. Harrington watched her from the window, tears quietly rolling down his face. He had spent millions trying to cure a problem that only needed love, patience, and attention. And Maria, the simple nanny, had seen what no doctor could see. Sometimes, children don't fall sick because of their bodies. Sometimes, they fall sick because of their fears. And sometimes, the cure is not found in hospitals, but under the bed where a child hides the things she is too afraid to explain.